I'm making you Bob Kraft. Congratulations. You have a lot more money. What do you do right now? That's now 4 straight years with no playoff wins. He, prior to the season, said it's been 3 years without one. He sounded impatient. We saw what happened with coordinators this year. I know what third rail I'm currently approaching with this question, but I place it before you. What do you have for me about the Patriots offseason? If you're Bob Kraft, what do you do? Chris?
Well, there's one guy that's not going anywhere. That's Bill. So if that's the third rail, I ain't going there. But I would say he might make some demands as far as, who's coaching the offense, loosening the grip a little bit on some of that stuff, because I'm not out on Mac Jones. Do I think he's an irredeemably dirty player? Yes. Do I think he's a halfway decent quarterback in the NFL? Absolutely. And I thought that yesterday, there's been some spots this year where, and some people might be laughing at me as they hear this, but he'll show you something from time to time. And you can't forget that he's had a D coordinator and a special teams coach who they could have used coaching special teams yesterday, coaching him offensively. It's not only a hindrance to have, 2 different voices in the room, but the 2 of them never coached offense, at that level. And you just can't discount that. I know it's not a hot take at this point, but that's a real problem. So I think you got to shore that up. I think also sometimes with New England, we just get so used to, we're like desensitized to their lack of weaponry, and you're just kind of like, yeah, well, Devontae Parker, Jacoby Myers, Nelson Aguilar, a couple tight ends we paid a bunch of money. That should be enough, right? I really like the running backs, and I think they got some pieces on defense. Jack Jones, he was suspended. And it's just like, that's a perfect example of the type of BS they've had to deal with this year. Jack Jones gets suspended for not going to treatment. Like, I can hear Bill talking about that right now in my head and just how stupid it is. And then,
what do you mean? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, Chris? What do you mean?
Just like, why are we doing? Why do we have to suspend guys over stuff like that? It's just like, it's such a thing we shouldn't have to think about as the Patriots, And the same thing with giving up 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns, losing the game on special teams. Same thing with fumbling the ball inside the 5-yard line with a chance to beat the Bengals. Same thing with, pitching the ball back to Mac Jones 35 yards behind us on a play that we're supposed to go into overtime. Like, just so many uncharacteristic mistakes, trends, ways that they've lost games. Bill didn't throw that lateral. Bill didn't fumble that ball against Cincinnati. Bill didn't not fit up on special teams twice. I feel like, if anything, Robert Kraft should apply pressure on Bill to hire people that are more conventional offensively, because the defense has been really good and they've had some young pieces that are exciting. And I don't think Mac Jones is a bad quarterback. So I know that Patriots fans are so used to winning. There's a whole, there's kind of a whole generation of them that never had to feel what losing's like. They don't even have to feel what mediocrity's like. They don't have to feel this feeling, not winning a playoff game in 4 years. But buckle up. This is like what it's like to be in the NFL.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.